What is up, PharMore Money family? Welcome back to another video. Happy Friday. Let's kick off this weekend video discussing one of my favorite stock holdings, NIO, and why they're primed to run to $50 and beyond. For those of you that don't know what NIO is a Chinese-based car maker. They're one of the early leaders in the electric vehicle game, right? Right next to Tesla. They're right there, with them in China, neck and neck. China is by far the largest market for the electric vehicle industry because of the country's large population of 1.4 billion people. Sales of the, EV sector have skyrocketed, guys, over the last 5 years, basically. More than 3.2 million electric vehicles were sold in 2020 globally, and EVs took a market share of about 4.2% just last year, up close to 3% from 2019, which is absolutely astounding and phenomenal for those of us that are investing in companies like Tesla. I've got Tesla's holdings as well. Same thing with NIO, right? These companies are going to have a field day in the future, and the faster we invest in them, or the better our position is in them now, the greater the returns are going to be down the road, guys. And this is one of those companies that will run. Tons of bullish sentiment around it, and some bullish news that came out earlier today about its expansion into Europe. So we're going to dive into all that in this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks so much, PharMore Money family. So NIO and the Chinese EV market, right? So the company had successful performance, guys, in Q1. It showed that its growth story is far from over. In Q1 alone, NIO beat the street expectations by $160 million and generated $1.2 billion in revenues, which represents an increase of 481% year over year. In addition, the company's gross profit was $237 million, while its vehicle margin was 21% against negative 7% a year ago. So margin-wise, phenomenal, margin gains. During this period, NIO has also improved its bottom line performance, as its net loss was only $68 million. Despite the chip shortages and Chinese New Year, its deliveries have also increased by 422% year over year and 15% quarter over quarter to 20,060 vehicles sold during this time. One of the best things about NIO is that it already has a dominant position in the Chinese EV industry, and it also has a solid balance sheet, as its cash reserves at the end of Q1 stood at $7.2 billion, while it only had $1.5 billion in long-term debt. As a result, it can easily reinvest its resources back into the business to drive growth and establish an even stronger foothold in its home market without worrying too much about the current losses. On top of that, while some might say that by trading at a price to sales ratio of about 13x, NIO is overvalued, the reality is that its momentum is not slowing down, and that's every reason to believe that the growth story is far from over. Considering that even at the market cap of about $70 billion, NIO still trades below the street consensus price of $59.24 per share. It's safe to assume that the upside is still there, especially since the current forecast suggests that the company will increase its revenues from $2.5 billion in fiscal year 2020 to $8.1 billion in fiscal year 2022. Just awesome, awesome news, guys. So let's dive in today and talk about the NIO ES8 SUV and its Europe expansion. So the ES8 is basically a direct competitor or a major competitor to Tesla's Model X. But overall, it's actually got a better price point, and it has more headroom than the Model X. It also has a more luxurious interior, and it comes with 3 different battery packages that could last from 415 kilometers to 580 kilometers on a single charge. All of the ES8 SUVs also include a proprietary operating system that has advanced navigation software, and most importantly, costs about $70,000 per vehicle in China, which is below the cost of Tesla's Model X, which comes at a price tag of about $110,000 per vehicle in that region. So based on that, the pricing advantage itself will undoubtedly help NIO to outsell Tesla in the SUV segment, especially since its cars now can be purchased at a discount thanks to the new Chinese subsidy program. On top of that, NIO today landed the EWVTA certification, which marks an essential foundation for NIO's entry into Norway and the European market at large. So basically, with that European whole vehicle type approval for the ES8, they will begin delivering the NIO ES8 SUV in Norway this coming September. At the same time, NIO will bring Norwegian users its direct sales and service network. And the fact that, Europe is embracing this piece, it's going to start working towards expanding in the European Union across all the countries in the near future. So very exciting news, very bullish news, the fact that they're expanding outside of China, starting with obviously Norway with the electric whole vehicle type approval. This is just massive news for NIO today. And I do expect to see that run continue over the next few months with the price point as well in their shares. PharMore Money family, to recap some highlights of NIO. NIO plans to accelerate its deliveries this month in order to meet its Q2 goal of delivering 21,000 to 22,000 vehicles, which would represent a growth of 103% year over year to 113% year over year, and plans to generate 1.2 to 1.29 billion in revenues during the period. Despite the semiconductor shortage, NIO already managed to increase its deliveries in April and May to 7,102 vehicles and 6,711 vehicles, respectively, which represent a growth of 125% year over year and 95% growth year over year, respectively. On top of that, NIO is also on track to deliver 90,000 to 100,000 vehicles this year, which is absolutely massive for a player that, has just come out on the scene over the past few years. There's every reason to believe that NIO will continue to be a dominant player in the Chinese EV market and a leader of the luxury EV segment in the region. While the company might not have the infrastructure outside of China, I do think with this new partnership with Norway and the fact that they'll be able to expand in the European Union will only make them that much more, prime for the killing and be able to run big numbers in the future. The fact that, Citi upgraded them as well after their last deliveries report to a buy rating or an overweight rating, boosting the price target for NIO to $58.30. I think that's a great story as well in and of itself. So there's a ton of momentum in NIO, and the fact that they have that capacity to even grow more, not just in China, but outside of China, in Europe and other Asian countries. I just think this is going to be just a huge growth story for NIO. I'm excited. I hope you all are excited as well. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and do subscribe. Thank you so much.
If you've enjoyed this video, if you did, please go ahead and hit the like button and please do subscribe. Turn on your notifications as videos are going to continue to pour in as we move forward through 2021. This is going to be the road and journey to wealth and to just massive portfolio returns as we move forward. Thanks, everyone.